Hello everyone, I am Dr. Kripa Shankar and welcome you all in today's session. Friends, today I am here to share some of the latest highlight in the case of fruit crops. All these information are taken from the different ICR institutes which are working in fruit crops. For any clarification, you can read the annual report and newsletters of those institutes. Firstly, I'll talk about the ICAR-IIHR Bangalore. In the case of mango, Mangifera camptosperma offer potential for fruit fly resistant and know some of the characteristic of this mechanism. And in the case of QTL, it is associated with red peel color and orange pulp color, so just know the name. Okay, and some of the metabolite profiling showing that it is associated with the pollen and stigma of Alfonso and Amrapali, which is directly associated with pollen viability and stress response. So must know that gallic acid and protocatechic acid, how it is associated with the pollen and stigma of Alfonso and Amrapali in the term of pollen viability and stress response. Okay. In the case of pomelo, there is some of the marker CIB0246 linked with the fruit weight and ascorbic acid content. In the case of papaya, Arka Prabhat and Vascancella, it is showing the PSRV resistant and different line has already been developed, and in coming days it may come as a variety. And just 2 points you must remember, like haplite induction is going on at ICAR-IIHR, and the X plant they are taking is immature ovule and pollen. And what are the target gene for PSRV? That is EIF4E. In the case of guava, Cedium catalianum confirm resistant to root knot nematode, especially interlobi. And different interspecific progenies like ISS12, ISS10, ISS3, ISH1 selected for combined resistant to wilt and nematode. And Cedium catalianum showed highest salinity tolerance. This also you can note down. In the case of sapota, IHR S63 identified as a dwarf with high fruit yield and TSS. In the case of custard apple, work is going on, especially for the self fruitfulness. In the case of soursop, CHES R3P3, IHR R6P2. These two SSN has been characterized. In coming days, it may come as a variety. And in the case of grapes, different salinity and solidity tolerance experiment is going on. In the case of dragon fruit, CHES D1, it's a its mutant CHES DE found superior. And in jamun, there is new farmer variety, that is Niranthara Kumar jamun, which gives fruit around the year, identified with PVV and FRA. As I have already told, the unique characteristic is year-round fruiting. So remember the name Niranthara Kumar jamun. In the case of wax apple, CHES M1 has been identified. It is regular bearing and high yielding. In the case of jackfruit, another two farmer variety, that is Harigold and Thirumala, collected from Panruti, Tamil Nadu. It is having superior fruit quality and high yield. So just remember the name of the variety. Some of the gene in the case of banana. And here is the table how you can do the quick revision in the case of mango, pomelo, and then papaya, guava, sapota, custard apple, everything. Okay. Now let's talk about the update from CITH Srinagar. Some of the columnar and elite apple cultivar, that is Moonlight, must know that it is rich in TSS acid ratio, suitable for HDP and mechanized harvesting. In general, friends, in columnar type varieties, mechanized harvesting is practiced. Some of the another apple varieties, that is Gala Red Plum, Super Chief, red velox, just remember the variety which is related to apple, and only important is moonlight. In the case of peach, remember all these varieties. In the case of nectarine also. Then in the case of plum cut hybrid, remember the name. Okay. In the case of olive also, almond also, hazelnut and pistachio also, remember the name, like what are these, either these are the variety of hazelnut or pistachio, like that. Okay, like anise and butler. Friends, in the case of walnut, based on the heterodicogamy, there is different characterization of percentage. If there is 0 to 10% dichogamy, then we consider it's a homogamous, means male and female bloom overlap. If there is 11 to 40% dichogamy condition, that is protandrous, means male first. If there is 41 to 70% dichogamy, means protogynous, and 71 to 100% means highly dichogamous. So just remember this classification. In the case of apple, CITH Lode apple 1, Oregon's per, Adam's apple are performing well. New scab resistant hybrid, through QRT-PCR they have found that it is resistant, and the gene associated is RVI6, that is VF gene. Name of varieties are Pride, Prime, Pretor and Umbrid. Just remember the parentage and their properties. I have told few of them are scab resistant. Amol is also there, remember the parentage. AM171 is also there. And some of the pear varieties characteristic must remember, which are resistant to black spot, cold hardiness, dwarfness, self-fruitfulness, coloration. And recently, friends, in the case of pear, new Indian pear hybrids has been developed. That is CITH Amber, CITH Gold, CITH Blush. So in all these cases, Chinese sand pear is the common. So here the what scientists trying to do is they are combining the characteristic of European pear and Chinese pear. Remember these some of the key traits. And these are the summaries, so you can revise. Okay, like what I have talked about, the columnar apple, then some of the mutants and all. Let's talk about the CCRI Nagpur, Central Citrus Research Institute Nagpur. Friends, in the case of citrus, many SSNs has been imported, and they are having different characteristics. Like in the case of Mandarin Pixie, Tao Gold, Sasta Gold, some of them are seedless, rich in flavor. Okay, remember these things, that is very important, which is recently imported from US. In case of sweet orange, Olympic Gold, Midnight Lima, okay, Intangelo Miniola, Australian finger lime, for the first time it has already also been imported. Okay, then Tanjore, Pomelo hybrid cocktail, it is having yellow orange flesh. And these two stocks also had been imported recently. So friends, as we know that Clean Plant program is going on in India, must remember what are the Clean Plant program, what is the total fund, what are the different crops included in Clean Plant program, and what are the steps for importing any material. So remember those things also, it may be useful for your exam. Here is the stepwise procedure for importing a material. Okay. And what is the major emphasis they are giving in the case of citrus? That is extension of harvest season, climate resilient, export expansion, and economic gain. That's what all those materials has been imported. Let's talk about the CISH Lucknow. In the case of mango, Awadh Abhay has been released, and in the case of Awadh Abhay, must remember the parentage. And second thing is most of these mango varieties are developed by key developer is Dr. S. Rajan sir, the former director of CISH Lucknow, and sir's team. Awadh Samriddhi, must remember the parentage. ICR Sagarika, that is also called as ML2, already discussed that in previous videos, like it is salt and sodicity tolerant. Up to what? Remember the pH and all. In the case of guava, Awadh Bhushan has been released. Selection from Hab Sibab Sardar. In Jamun, CISH J37, renamed as Awadh Jamwant, having good TSS 16.4, that is excellent. In case of Bale, Awadh Arpan, that is also known as CISH Bale 1, and Awadh Shrestha, that is CISH Bale 2. Awadh Arpan is drought tolerant, early ripening. Awadh Shrestha is having few thorn only and mid-season variety. Let's talk about the ICAR-IIHR in New Delhi. Friends, in this case, in the case of mango, 2 new root stock, that is Pusa Mulvrinth 1 as K2, Pusa Mulvrinth 2 as K5 has been released. Friends, it is having dwarfing properties on the different scion, so must remember the name of the scion on which it is showing the dwarfness. And in the case of mandarin, 2 new variety has been released, Pusa Kino Gold and Pusa Arli Kino. In Mosmi, that is Pusa Kartik Mosmi, Pusa Low Seeded Mosmi. These are the only, and earlier variety also you should remember their parentage and all in the case of guava. In Darjeeling mandarin, that is released from Kalimpong, that is PR 12, 13 and 14, showing superior characteristics. In banana, that is Kaveri Kanchan, recently it is released and rich in carotenoid, that is 2423 microgram per 100 gram. And there is one mutant line resistant to fusarium wilt, that is NRC BGN M1. These are the basic things that you should read. The important thing only I'll highlight. These are some of the material that this center recently imported, or no, sorry, collected from different places. In the case of grape, a different meristem culture protocol has been standardized, especially for the GLRA V1, GLRA V3. This is the like a virus strain. So must remember the name and how it affects and how symptoms develop on the fruit. Because of this, there is the like anthocyanin. It infects the anthocyanin mostly. So few basic things are there that you should read. Okay, these are the only thing from NRC grapes. So from here you can see some of the quick revision. And in the case of NRC pomegranate, new farmer variety Sharad King has been identified and released. And then these are some of the molecular work they have done, like genome mapping and all. So just read and remember. Some of the post-harvest things are there. I'll share this PDF in the link so you can read in detail. This is the key highlights. So friends, these all are the basic information which is related to different fruit crops. I'll be sharing more information. Keep in touch with the channel, and thank you.